Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show presented by j&jproduction studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Well, hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the What's Up Bro podcast show. We're so glad you guys could tune in. It is a Monday evening, hard to believe, just after the 4th of July weekend, which came and went fast. Hope you guys had a wonderful time celebrating our country's 250th birthday. If you guys did miss it, we did have our special 250th celebration episode on our Three Amigos podcast. You can check that out. Just a quick shout out there. But tonight we have another special one for you guys. Now, we've been doing a lot of interviews. We have a lot of interviews lined up, but another one is kind of a surprise one, just because we weren't anticipating it. You know, it's one of those you never know, but the stars aligned. It worked out, and we are so happy we could do this tonight. We hope you guys are excited. We do a lot of this. We've had a lot of great artists come on here, and tonight we want to feature yet another artist on the show tonight. So we will introduce here in just a second. I think we have take a quick pause here. It's all good. It's always technical glitches, you guys know. We have all kinds of things happening. So we will get you going here in just a second. Let me think if I have anything we can share while we're waiting briefly, and then we'll introduce. There was one thing. I really got to look and see. I have to edit a lot of things we got to clean out of here. We have old promo photos and stuff that we don't need. That's going to be part of my to-do list. In case you guys don't know, you see we use a lot of different things. There's a lot of great stuff that we have, but we also have to do some editing, do some quick adjusting and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be working on that hopefully this week, amongst other things. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking at some stuff now. We don't really need that. I don't think it hasn't been that long since we've been on here. I guess I really got to go I got a lot of work to do. There's just never enough time in the day. It never ends. So you guys know, you've been around. If you've been around long enough, you know the drill. You've seen us in action. You know how it works. This is just par for the course. So we will strive to persevere on. It'll be great. We got a lot of exciting things coming up as well. We have some great things in plan, things in motion. We have some great new interviews lined up. If you guys missed it, I don't think I have it on here. I do. One of which is, if you guys didn't tell, one of our more popular favorite ones. It's been going on great. We're going to have more in this genre, but in our newer series, which became a series, which is this one, the 1001 Cryptic Tales, a spooktacular horror series. New episodes coming out. We're going to be featuring great new talent. Again, those are the fine folks, the men and women behind the camera, on screen, in the horror genre. We've had directors, actors, producers we've talked to, special effects people, who some of them have been on the show, some of them have not. So we are going to try and definitely showcase them. If you missed several of the episodes, they're available now. But we have some new ones that are going to be launching soon, so please stay tuned for that. Let's see, what else do we have? We have another series that potentially could be starting. I want to tease it. I don't want to give too much away just because we're still ironing out the details. We're still getting the basics of it down. We're still kind of crossing the T's, dotting the I's. So some things we're still kind of finalizing, but it's going to be incredibly exciting, a lot of fun. I hope you guys are excited for it. We'll give you more details as that comes about. Let's take that off. We don't need that off. I'm trying to multitask. It's one of those kind of things. Let's see. Oh, I can put this back up. There we go. And let me see here. I know you can see his name on there, but I want to give him a formal introduction, so we'll give him a minute. I know things kind of happen. We were prepping behind the scenes before we started, but stuff happens in between. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Oh, there we go. Hang on a second. Wait for it. Mic muted.
Ta-da!
There we go. Perfect. Like I told everybody, you'll be back. Don't worry, it's a thing. There's always best laid plans. You know, stuff.
Oh
happens.
no, I was waiting. I was waiting for you to get your drops and your shout outs.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, thank you. I didn't realize. I was like, I could have told you sooner. I'm thinking maybe you had a call or something came up, but anyway, okay.
No.
I did want to. I did want to introduce because I want to make sure you're present here. So now, it actually gives me a chance to scroll down to we have our special effects. Don't tell anybody. It's not really a live studio audience, but we kind of like to keep the ambiance if we can. However, we want to welcome you guys to the show, making his first appearance here. We're going to learn all about him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, to the stage, musical artist there. Again, I missed it. Where is it? There it is. Mr. Calebdoe, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Hello. Yay.
What's up,
Caleb,
guys?
good to see you.
Y'all.
How are
Thank
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just finished wrapping up some more music.
Oh, nice.
One of my new favorite video games just dropped today, so I just put a couple hours in on that.
Ooh, which one?
Oh, college football.
Oh, really? Okay. See, I can't I can't get into the college. I've tried. I mean, I've been playing Madden for like, gosh, probably 20 some years. So it's always been a favorite. I tried some of the college games. I mean, they're not terrible. I had friends that played it. I just can't get the hype of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the thing.
It's a little less realistic. That's the biggest critic I hear. I mean, it's like arcade football if you could have it. So,
right.
But I'm a Michigan fan, and Michigan football is everything around here. So I'm there.
I like you already. I can tell you. University of Michigan. So I could probably give you a guess. I'm kind of old school, but you could probably guess who my favorite player is then. Who went to Michigan? 7 Super Bowl titles. First ballot Hall of Fame. Yep. So I can roll with that.
Okay.
Hey, red shirt freshman. He went in. He went to the Orange Bowl. The Wolverines had a great year that year. I mean, he was.
I was just telling somebody. My mother's side of the family is from Alabama, so they're trying to tell me about Tom Brady and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, you guys played Tom Brady and you lost. So they're not. Because
not
when I was growing up,
over it.
Yeah, when I was growing up, we were in Alabama actually, and Michigan was playing Alabama, but they had Derrick Henry.
Right. Yep. Still playing. Hey. I mean,
yeah.
Hello, Amber.
He played his ass off that day. So
he did. But listen, you know what? I tell people I won't bore you with the details, but listen, all I can say is you love him or hate him. I watched Tom his entire career, 23 years, okay? Historic career, all right? I mean, you got to give him props. I know there's the scandals, there's all this stuff, all the off the field, behind the field, the cheating, the this, the that, yada, yada. But despite all that, the success they had, and then, of course, I was really supporting him when, they say, oh, he can't play that long, he's getting old, he goes to Tampa, they win the Super Bowl. I think they could have gone back-to-back, to be quite honest.
That's when I picked him up because I grew up in India. Well, I was born in Indiana, so Peyton Manning was.
I respect him.
Walked on waters, and I understood because man, every Sunday was a movie, and we were born to hate Tom Brady.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I didn't like Tom Brady until the Falcons Super Bowl. Then it's like, oh man, this guy
28-3. Yeah.
This guy is something else, man. Like I can't front on him anymore. And then he left to go to Tampa, which made it a little easier for me to root for him. So
I get it. Listen, and people say, "Oh, I'm a bandwagon." No, I still root for the Patriots. Tampa's kind of become like my number 2 go-to because you have to, obviously. But it was more about support because I wanted to see him. I'd like to see him finish strong. And again, 3 years, Tampa made the playoffs all 3 seasons. Obviously, last year they lost in the first round, but and had they not gotten hurt, he probably could have had back-to-back titles in Tampa. It's just that receiving core got depleted. They were down to like nobody. And the Rams were obviously they were the eventual Super Bowl winners that year. They were just on a Matt Stafford. They were just on a tangent. So, but I mean, you know what? It's and same thing. Like I say, it's like now LeBron's a big thing. I'm not a huge lover, but I mean, it's a great career. He's still going to continue his career. Who knows where? That's something we've been talking about because obviously that's the big story now.
You talking about LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So. But to me, he's still not the GOAT. For me, obviously, it's Jordan. I mean, I'm just saying, it's hard. I know there's this big debate back and forth. And again, I don't disrespect the guy. LeBron's had a great career, but, Michael Jordan's 6 titles in Chi-Town and, all that stuff. I mean, and there's other legends you could go back. I think LeBron is the legend of, like, our generation, clearly. and I think he'll play till at least probably like the Brady effect. He'll probably play till 45. He doesn't seem to be slowing down. So, but you got to give him their props. But I respect that. But I love that the fact that you have those ties there, and I don't meet too many Michigan fans there. And every time I bring up Brady, he goes, "Oh yeah, he was great in college. He was great in the NFL." And he goes, "Well, he went to Michigan." I think somebody's who's their all time rival? It's is it Ohio State? No, Ohio State. Is it Ohio State?
Ohio, yes.
So I had somebody one time, I was joking with them because they're like, Ohio. Goes, "Oh yeah, well when Brady was the Michigan, oh please, like don't do that." I'm like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I mean, come on. So
I think Brady beat them 3 out of the 4 times they played.
Yep. So listen,
not the highest IQ people that are talking. Like that's the thing with Michigan football. It's the most winningest program. It's the most traditional program. It's the most successful alumnus group.
Right.
And then they grew to other cities. So it's like there's a good Michigan pipeline in every state in the Midwest. So
and I feel like didn't they just win a title not too long ago?
Basketball won a couple months ago.
That's
if you're talking about football, that was 24. It was 23 season, but January 24 they played Michael Penix in the in Washington.
It's a good game. I mean, hey, but listen, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It could go either way, but that was good there. But no, that's great. I appreciate that. So I want to dive in. That was great. I love that. That's fantastic. Sports thing always is a great icebreaker.
My life is sports, bro. So
speaking of that, tell us a little bit about who is Calebdoe. Like, give us. I mean, again, if you could put it up in a summary, like where are you from, background, and it can even tie in what got you into music. What was it about it? We could just start there. Take us through your childhood. I have some popcorn here. We can listen to you. Go ahead. Okay.
The thing about me growing up, me and my older sister, my dad's side of the family is from Chicago.
Okay.
So we eat, live, breathe anything Chicago Bulls, and I'm not a Bears fan, I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but like Bulls and White Sox, like that's it. And then my mother being from Alabama, that's Alabama. Like they don't have any professional teams in the state of Alabama, so they have college. So she likes the Eagles. My mother liked the Eagles. She liked the Eagles. She liked the Bulls. She moved to Chicago. That's how my parents met. And then my mom moved to college after she graduated from Alabama A&M and met my dad out there. Then my dad went to Fort Wayne Bible College here in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne Bible College is now Trine University. So got out here that way, had me and my sister in order, had all that going. And then there was just so many musical influences. So my mom listens to this, my dad listens to this, they bring it together. And then being in Indiana, it's hilarious because I coach basketball. So I coach 7th grade basketball.
Oh, nice.
I know. And I'm listening to the stuff that my players are listening to. They're listening to Michael Jackson, and that's that's the base and the root of everything around here. You have to start at Michael Jackson. He's the biggest artist to ever live.
Well, yeah.
He's 2 hours away from us. So the landscape, my parents' backgrounds and energy and the way they live. So growing up, you automatically gravitate to the rap music because that's my mom. R&B, that's my dad, and the jazz and the gospel. So getting all that stuff together, I mean, my mom played acoustic, my dad played guitar. My sister has the mega ear for music, so I don't have the patience for instruments. Maybe a little later when I stop running everywhere stuff to do, but I was always good with speech and words and entendres. Just like you could say bus. I can find 5 different ways to say bus or figure out a bus. I've always been good with that kind of stuff. So just all the percussion and soul and slow down tempo, like that's always been my expertise. So combining all of that, I got a really good ear for music, a good vocabulary to make good music, and That's how it came to fruition. I have a
Wow.
blast doing it. I have a
That
blast
that
doing it.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, again, a lot of it, and that's the thing. We've shared a lot of times. We talk to artists. We say, it's the consensus seems to be the same. It's the passion is the most important thing.
Mm,
I always say I'm a big advocate for, you should, if you're passionate about it, the success and stuff can come, but you shouldn't sell out anything just to try to be famous, which, I think a lot of people music wise, they do nowadays. It's just easier because, I want to get famous. So I'll sell out my own rights to whatever, just, because I want to be somewhere, but then it's not your own music, right? You kind of give up that freedom of creativity.
right.
Um, that's a
Well,
wonderful thing.
there's a couple ways to look at that though, because um I'm 29. My birthday's in 3 days, actually.
Oh,
July
happy
9th.
birthday. Mine's in about 3 weeks. So,
Really?
yeah,
Leo, you missed the Cancer cutoff.
I did. Yeah, I'm a Leo. I'm right at the, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, um, but the older you get, man, it's like even the artists that I grew up listening to, you see that they try to play the system, or,
Right.
people end up trying to focus on ownership, but you can get phased out. So you have to go through the system.
Mm-hmm.
So me personally, I don't necessarily I look at it as basketball. The
Okay.
more money you ask for and the more control you ask for, the less that teams are going to want to
Very
deal with
true.
you unless you're this Hall of Fame or all NBA talent. People aren't going to want to deal with that. So
Yeah,
you have to eat a little cheese to be able to get what you want. And
100%.
my thing is I got homies that have kids and my nephew and my
Mm-hmm.
goddaughter. So when they all turn 18 is when I would say the benefits need to come back. But if you need this ownership to push this behind it, it's with me, it's about getting it to the masses.
Right.
If I have my speech and I always have my speech. I will, I'll have complete ownership over myself
Mm-hmm.
before you have ownership of me. You can have the music before you have me. I'll always be me, and that's not negotiable.
Right.
But
Yep.
being able to understand that you're not gonna have everything. Everything's not gonna go your way. This is the business that you chose,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to rock with it. So
Yeah.
it's another side of that coin too. It's unfortunate, but I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't
No,
figured it out.
no, I mean, I think a lot of people, it is part of that kind of that learning curve, and I think it's all about we say perspective for a lot of times, everybody, and
Exactly.
we always
Hmm.
say too, like the biggest thing I say to people is success. People talk about success, and success really boils down to what you perceive for yourself. Everybody measures success by maybe how much money you make, how famous you are, this, that, and the other. But the key of that is really its own personal goals. It's what it is important to you, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
And not really. I always tell people too, like whether it's making music or people doing, like I've talked to people that are doing shows like this, podcasts, like don't feel the pressure from somebody else. Um, don't conform yourself to base yourself off of somebody else. You be you. And so if your goals are just like to do something to have fun, maybe you make some money from it, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, it's what you want it to be. You make it for yourself. It's not what somebody else makes of it, it's what you make it. So and I think that's the hard part a lot of people can't figure out, because they're just so caught up in that flow of what our society dictates. So especially younger people. I mean, I'm getting older. I'm a little bit older than you are. Actually, well, I shouldn't say considerable. I'm older. So,
Hmm.
but I'm almost 37. So, but being around for a while, and again, I've seen so many different things. I've heard so many different people say different things. Obviously, you watch a lot of the outlets. You hear about celebrities saying different things and all these type. But the message has to be clear enough for people that are trying to accomplish their goals, and that is, be authentic, be you, just be true to yourself, and then those goals and stuff will come. But and it's also nice because now one of the quotes I read this, and I like this, and I want to ask you about this too, how much, and I'm sure this may be something you use not just in music, but It said here in your bio, right? It says, "No one writes for me, and I'm trying hard to keep it that way." So, what do you mean exactly by that? Just for people that maybe not understand that concept, what does that mean for you?
And it could be something as simple as, you know, a producer saying, "Hey, I have this beat, but here's the hook," or, you know, "Here's this song," and they're writing a little bit more than, you know, we'll get rid of it. Or
Right.
any time that this is, "Hey, we need you to say this," then I can't do it, because then my voice is super powerful. It's like the more substance and the more care, you have to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be more careful with how you give your energy and your speech. So, excuse me, you have to be careful with, you know, who you share that with, and I'm super big on that.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't do it for the reasons that I do it. I would rather go ahead and write a song for them than let somebody write a song for me. So
Yep.
if it's not paying homage to somebody that came before me or influenced me to be the rapper that I am today, the musician, whatever, um, it's all coming from me. Like if I don't, and I, you know, I do freestyle sometimes, but
Okay.
all of it is written ahead of time. It's all written
Okay.
ahead of time. There may be a bar I get in the booth where it's like, okay, I got to take a word off that, or it's too crammed. It's not gonna flow into the next bar good enough, so we gotta retreat on that. So, you know, those are the I've had a couple of those, just in the sense of, all right, I'll have you say this, and then I'll come and say something, and then oh man, that's dope. We should do that instead. So it'll always stay that way. I know people are gonna run into the situation of, you know, they want you to say this, or, hey, I had a guy. Wow, I had a guy. I was I was supposed to fly to New York and meet with a couple
Okay.
people, and it was more so, "Hey, we want to discuss this, but we're going to book a studio session for you, and we're going to give you 3 songs, and we want you to rap those songs." It's like, what the hell? What do you mean? Like, no way. I'm not
Wow.
I'm not driving. Well, I'm not flying out to New York. The Knicks just won. I don't want to be around that,
Oh yeah. No. Oh.
and I have to sit and memorize and do all that. Like R&B artists do that kind of stuff. "Hey, we
Right.
have
Right.
these songs for you, and then we'll put them on your album." That's why their albums take 5 ever, because we're waiting for 12, 15 songs that can flow for you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
nothing
Yep.
that's not written by me flows for me.
Okay.
So that, you know, that's all that is, and staying true to that. I mean, I'll have no problem doing that, but, you know, I've already been tried to get pushed in a direction where it's like, okay, we like what you're doing, but we want you to do what you're doing on this beat with these
Right.
words. It's like, man, no way.
Yeah.
That's no way.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, you know, and that again, that's that kind of like that topic about, you know, creative control. And you know, we talked to, like, in that series you mentioned, we're doing like this horror series. We talked to actually a couple of artists too that write, you know, tracks for that. And obviously the hardship is, you know, the collabing with what the producer director wants for their film based on the score, what they're trying to write.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just trying to understand each other, trying to create something that the artist is happy with, and the people that are making the film or TV project that it's for are happy with. You know, there's that compromise, that give and take. Obviously, you know, one side's going to push the other side more, and vice versa, or maybe the other way around, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, all of that is, you know, that's a huge, uh, big ordeal that you go through. Now, when you started doing this, now I don't know, again, just based on what you have written there for bio, like I'm assuming, I don't know if you have representation. Do you have people that represent you? Are you at that level, or do you just kind of represent yourself? Um, like when you deal with the business side of things, like is that strictly you, or do you have others that help take care of that for you?
Yeah, I mean, we have the lawyer to look over everything.
Okay.
We have the lawyer that looks over everything that's sent my way. We have the marketing team, we have the PR team. Don't say this when you get in the interview, say this, and whatever. We got all that
Prepping. Yep.
annoying stuff. Yep. And then I got my dad.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
it's more of like a, yeah, my dad is you know, sometimes you can look at your friend's parents and be like, he looks just like him, he acts just like him. And I walk like the guy, talk like the guy, and he, you know, his path is a lot similar. He's in the school, but I do it on basketball. So it's like we live really parallel lives. And except for that, he had his first kid at 30. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in a couple days, and there's no kid coming.
Not yet.
So,
Yeah.
Knock on wood. You got wood? You got wood over there?
There you go. Here, I'll knock extra hard for you. There you go.
Knock some more when we get off this. We don't.
I'll do it all night long just for your honor. I'll do. You know, I'm gonna knock on the floor too. I'll do everything. Just throw some salt over my shoulder, say a prayer. All that stuff. You're good.
Appreciate it. There we go. So it's it's all about keeping the circle tight. And even if I do, we do the manager thing. We'll probably keep that in the family and have them do it. It can't be too close to my sister though, because they'll snitch. But I gotta keep everything in house. And no, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I believe
man.
you. No, trust me. I get it because I've been there. Not the same context, but like I understand the family, the whole context of all that stuff. That's the beautiful thing people don't realize when you keep it in the family or you have family involved. Like I've had things where I'm like, just because a lot of times family, they're so overwhelmed with pride they have to share. But I'm like, some things I don't want. You can't share. Like don't say anything. I told you not to say anything, and you kind of say it.
And they said it anyway. That was the first call they made after you told them not to say it. So it's.
But I just told my one friend. I said, yeah, but then they go to the hairdresser and they tell somebody, and then they tell somebody else, and the next thing you know, TMZ picks it up. It's a whole thing. So.
My thing is, I'll give 2 or 3 different stories to figure out who said what, and then get it out of there. And get it out of there quick and easy. And it'll be something simple. It'll be something simple like, oh yeah, I was wearing a red shirt that day, or oh, I had some khaki jeans on and dress pants. The word gets out that I had a red shirt. Now
it was you.
It was you. So
it was you.
Yeah, it was.
No, I really get it. I mean, and that's the one thing I love about that though is it's nice when you keep, when you have family involved. I could put the correlation. Obviously, you're gonna get the correlation. You're almost playing like the Jacksons because at least in the beginning, it was a family thing and they had everybody involved. I've also said this is just my opinion. Of course, it's not a hard argument. I get the argument for Janet, but I think obviously Michael had the most success on his own, clearly.
Absolutely.
I mean, he went to superstardom. It's no disrespect to the others. It's just it was what it was. But and aside from the personal dealings, like with his dad, I know he shared a lot in I have a couple of his books I read, and obviously documentaries about how hard his dad was on the family when they were, back in the business.
Joe has books, or Michael has books?
Michael, his books, he wrote one of his books, which I don't even know if it's in publication anymore. I remember when it came out. It was titled Moonwalk. It was like his own personal biography, which I think he wrote that himself. I know he wrote a couple others, but I think he co-wrote that with like a publishing company. But the Moonwalk book was like his own, like almost like a diary from his life. Like he wrote that. And I remember in the one chapter, I forget which one it was. I think it was early on, but he said, the hardship was, my dad, he loved the family, he had his brothers, but my dad was just so hard on us with the business side. And what was also hard was he was seeing like his dad be hard on his other brothers, saying, Michael's clearly got talent. You should be like him. Don't be your own person. Be like him, because he's the talented one. To that and to like I think they took him to court at some point because he was hoarding like the money and wasn't giving him their share. It was this whole big mess, which was the first time because, normally for the most part in Michael Jackson's life, so much I remember too, he never really overly shared about his family stuff. But like in this book, he was very candid about what people didn't see. There were little kids on TV. We did the Ed Sullivan show. We were on this and that, but he didn't see the sleepless nights. We came home, had school, had, tutoring. Like we were constantly going. My dad, he said, Dad would not let up. Like if we weren't doing songwriting, we were rehearsals, we were costume fittings, we were, all these things. So, but it was really eye-opening just to see because we don't see that. We see as the celebrities, the artists performing and the fun and, all this stuff. We don't see the hardships that go on behind the scenes. And obviously it's like child actors. It's hard to grow up that way. And I'm pretty sure, I think somewhere in an interview, he said, somebody asked him, he said it was rough growing up because you didn't really have a childhood per se. But obviously, claim to fame, but is it really worth it from a personal standpoint when you could have all the money in the world, but you're constantly under the microscope? And we've seen it over the years between that and when obviously the issue with Blanket holding him outside the hotel window kind of thing. Every move he makes, scrutinized, the Neverland situation there, which my personal thing is, I've said this to people just since we're kind of on this a little bit here. Like, I don't believe it's what it was meant out to be. I don't think it was his best. I don't think the intention was what it was panned out to be. I don't think he should have done certain things to invite the negativity, as it were. But I think the heart was in the right place per se. I don't think he was inappropriate as they claim him to be, kind of thing. It was just the perception, but just the whole hardship of life. And then of course, obviously the lupus and the skin change and the nose and, the whole, we've all heard this time and time again, but, point being is a lot of things get out.
The vitiligo.
The vitiligo. Thank you. I always confuse that with both. He had something going, but it was the whole, he even said it broke him down because he's like, people said, oh, you're so embarrassed about your skin color, you're changing it yourself. He goes, why would I bleach myself? Like, who does that? Like, it doesn't sound safe, honestly. I mean, people do it with weird stuff, but like, why would I do that? Plastic surgery on the nose. Like, I know he had some issues with breathing, like just some medical reasons, but people, twist it. So like what you're saying too is like when things get out, you don't want it to be twisted. You want it to stay close. And again, it's one of those things people always judge, right? So it doesn't matter what we do. It's just kind of that unfortunate. And I say this too, in a country in America, probably the American media is even worse now with social media and stuff. It's probably the worst thing possible because gossiping and stories and the TMZs. And
if it has nothing to do with music or sports, I'm not on it because I used to be on Twitter heavy when I was in high school, probably like 2010 to 2011 till about 20. Oh man, stop using Twitter probably like 2019, a little bit after COVID, where the internet, because pardon me, it's like I never watched the news. I never watched the news just from your perspective. I mean, what you're saying, how harsh American media can be, and
brutal.
I see so many people get dragged through it, and eventually the truth comes to light. But perception is perception, and it's too late. So it's like, man, that sucks. So once I started getting that understanding of things, I mean, I knew it happened. Like, you got Michael Jackson and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and all these crucifixions in my life, Tiger Woods. And it's like all of these crucifixions in my lifetime, and they're still accepted. But the thing with my dad being in the church, going to Fort Wayne Bible College and being a pastor these days, I've truly adapted the "he without sin shall cast the first stone" kind of deal. Jay-Z has said that too. So it's like, this is my thing, and I'm not trying to get a little biblical on you or anything, but
that's fine.
Are you a religious person?
I am. Yep. I share the same belief there. So I get exactly where you're coming from. Yep.
Love it. So the thing was, and I kind of picked this up about 2 weeks ago, but more so, if we feel that, like, I guess God died for our sins is it's the most simple thing ever. But when you look up and everybody is saying this or doing this about all of these different people every day, if everybody walked around with everything bad that they've done to people, nobody would like anybody.
Truth.
Everybody would hate everybody. So how am I to say, like, oh, you're a bad person? But if you believe in God and he's the reason why we are who we are, how can you do that to somebody else?
Exactly.
I've grown to be able to separate the two. I was just at a I was just at a party on Saturday, and they played I think 2 or 3 R. Kelly songs in a row.
Oh,
and
okay.
I love R. Kelly. I don't know Robert Kelly.
Right.
Me and Robert, we view women
Differently. Yeah.
You treat women differently, and like I love Puff, P Diddy. I
P
love
Diddy.
Diddy.
Yep.
You're a little
Sean
bit more
Combs.
wild. Sean Combs.
Yep.
I don't know Sean Combs.
Right.
I know Puff Daddy. I know P Diddy. You feel me? I don't know
Yep.
Robert Kelly. So I'm able to separate that, but just it just shows how many people don't know Christ.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, why would I go back and forth with those people? I just got to live with it. And people don't understand
Mhm.
everything here. Perspectives, what you've been through, what you've done, how much money you have, how many
Yep.
this, how many that. When you go, I mean, who's to say? But that's the whole point of the faith.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
you have here can't be taken with you. So
Nope.
I don't, when it comes to the media and stuff like that, I even got friends. I'm beefing with somebody right now. It's not nothing serious, but it's in the you got all of this to say, you got all that to say, but it has to go in one ear and out the other for me to be able to succeed and do what I
Right.
want to do.
Yep.
Otherwise I'll be stuck here forever or just on a hamster wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Revolving
it
door.
gets
Yep.
a revolving door. It gets deep. It gets deep. So I just, try
It's
not
a
to
lot.
explain that every single time to people. I
Right.
keep my mouth shut.
Yeah,
Step
no,
back,
and
keep
you
my
make a
mouth
good
shut.
point. Like they say too, and obviously we know and we believe that too. Obviously, we're living the end times. We can see that, based on what Scripture says there. And the one thing I tell people, you see this is Scripture also says too. When when we get closer to the end, things begin to turn inside out. Like the world turns on itself. The lie becomes the truth becomes the lies. People are believing everything. It's just falling apart, basically. And again, it's a world where we push God out of the picture. We don't need God. Well, when we turn away from him, it gets darker, right? We're not going to the light, we're going away from it. um and people don't understand or always perceive that notion. And I don't force it on people either. You can't. I try to share when I can, say the rest is between you and him, figuring out where you are and if you're happy. But people are just so oblivious. Maybe some ignorance, I guess, could be fair to say in some cases.
It's all
Um,
ignorance. It's
it
all
is.
ignorance.
And
It's all
they
ignorance.
say, what's that old saying? I love this saying too, and it kind of dates me, but they say, it's easier like to be like an ostrich and bury your head in the sand, and just ignore it. But does that make the problems go away? No. It's easy to bury it until I forget about it, but it doesn't make it go away. And I think people just, it doesn't matter what it is, it's anything. So, and you look at that and you go, society is it's crumbling. I said, generations get worse. I weep for the future because a lot of there's some kids that really show prospect and I think they have bright future, but it's like the way the world's going, what is there going to be? We don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
if there'll be a
And
tomorrow, right?
and that's
So,
the thing. Like as the classes begin to continue to separate and separate and separate, we get what we can, and that's
yep.
all it is. We judge each other and say this and do that because we aspire to be that, but that's the mentality. Unfortunately, you need it to survive.
Right.
And people aren't comfortable, they aren't happy because there's
Nope.
constantly viewing something that somebody has better than them, and
Exactly.
you're taking away your own joy when you look at things from that perspective.
Exactly. Yeah.
So but
100%.
I fear for the world too. I really do, man. Some days I'm like, all right, max 65 years or 60 55 years, cool. Because I don't know how this generation after me, you know what? And it's the small stuff.
Yeah.
PlayStation, you see, PlayStation announced they're not making disc copies anymore,
Yep.
and that broke my heart into pieces. Like, the world is going in a completely different
Different.
direction.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
like, man, what is it gonna be like when my nephew and my goddaughter get my age? God knows what's going on. Cause now I can look back to what it was like when I was in high school, when I was in
Yep.
middle school, when way back.
Oh, good times. Yeah, I mean, listen, I
I
grew up with
don't
all the classics. It was different then. That's why I tell these kids I'm so old now. It was different back then. Like we didn't have Like I remember, I'm old enough. I remember when the first cell phone. It wasn't a smartphone. It was the flip phone. You know, it wasn't
was the
these.
flip phone. You had the boom, then you had the boom, then you had the push up with the BlackBerry.
And I tell kids
Then
like
you
I'm
had
so
the
old. Like I had
iPhone.
dial-up internet. You had to connect and dial-up internet. You hear those little
At the
sound when it's
small
you know.
little wall
Yep.
computer. Oh
And
yeah.
you couldn't
Oh
be
yeah.
on more than an hour because mom would be like, "I need to use the phone." You got tie up the phone line because you had to plug it right
Mm-hmm.
into the.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's so it's. I mean, there's good. I always say too, technology is great in this case. Like it depends on. It's like same thing what they say like gun violence things. It's
Oh
not the
no.
tool. It's not the tool. It's the person. It's
Yeah.
like guns
Kind of.
don't kill people. People kill people. It's what's in the heart. It's what's the perspective of folks. There's good and there's evil for a reason. Um,
There's a lot
but
of ways to look at that though. Well,
yeah,
I will tell you this. Fort Wayne led the United States in, as crazy as this sounds, Fort Wayne led the United States in most people shot
really.
over this past weekend. I did my Googles.
Whoa.
I did my Googles yesterday.
Okay.
Um I did my Googles yesterday. There's like small cities in California and
Right.
here and there, but that's based off population. Fort Wayne is like 300,000.
It's pretty
And
big. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, it's not small at all. It's the second biggest city in Indiana, It's
Hmm.
just Indianapolis is a top
Well,
15 city.
and yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
So it's like it's probably I think 700,000 less people. It's a little bit over a million in Indianapolis, but
Okay.
it's just the way things are headed. Like this is legal to purchase. This is their perspective. This is the music that's giving out that energy, and it's at the forefront.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. People ask me all the time, "Do you like doing music or do you like coaching more?" The thing
Ooh.
is, now the youth is the youth, and
Sure.
I ran into one of my old middle school teammates today. We hugged for about 10, 15.
Wow.
Laughing. Yeah, we're laughing at about how coach was yelling at him for setting bad screens in practice, moving screens, all that stuff. And you remember that stuff forever. Those coaches, those teammates. But you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You gotta know your worth. I would say I'm probably one of the better rappers doing it right now. And
Hmm.
have you got your Phil Jacksons and Steve Kerrs and all that good stuff. I'll work my way to that. But this, how music is and technology is. I could be, here today and there tomorrow, and it's more emphasized. Music is such a powerful tool. I can do
Absolutely.
it I can do it over a beat and have millions and millions listen to it, or I can put it in a practice or put it in a game plan and have 10 to 12 players and their
Yeah. Yeah.
families in the program, and it just weighs out, or it's equal to me, but music is much more of a need to me.
There
And
you go.
I don't know what's going to happen when times, but basketball will be okay. I don't think rap will be okay. And that's hard to sleep at night. It's hard
True.
to sleep.
That is very true. It's a good idea. I mean, again, you've got a great perspective there. Again, we hope for the best. We just don't know. So we hope and pray for the best, and we see where it goes. But speaking of the music, though, we're gonna take a short pause here for everybody at home just to refresh. We're gonna come back. I want to ask you. We're gonna talk a bit about the single that you wrote. I want to know the story behind it. It seems like a great story. Listen to it. It's a great song. We want to kind of give people the tickling behind it, like what inspired you to write it, how it came about, the whole 9 yards. And then obviously when we end tonight, we're going to point people where they can find it. We would definitely want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys watching at home, this is your opportunity. We're going to take a short pause here. So please go and use the facilities, use the restroom. You need a good refreshment. Some people do. Go for it. Now's the time to do it. We're going to take a short pause. We're going to play a quick commercial, a couple commercials for you. We're going to come back. We're not finished yet. We got plenty to talk about. We got to feature why Caleb is here. We're going to showcase. This is a great song. We're going to show you where to check it out. It's phenomenal. So, quick pause. Go ahead. Use the bathroom. I'm going to put up our little. I'll mute us in a second here just so that we can play the song. But come on back. We'll see you guys in just a second for more. Stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying this episode. Again, if anybody else wants to watch or listen that hasn't started it, go grab your friends and family, bring them back. We got plenty more to talk about. So now's the time to do it. Go get a break, catch yourselves something good, refreshing, get comfortable. We got plenty more coming up here next. We're glad you guys could be here. We hope you're enjoying it so far. Stay tuned for more. Don't go away. We'll be right back to talk with Calebdoe and the new track that he has put out. So we'll see you shortly for more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for some extra cash? Are you wondering if that old jewelry or coin collection sitting around is valuable? Then visit Borger's Rare Coins and Fine Jewelry. Call or text owner Jeff at 973-390-4606 for a free evaluation, no pressure to buy or sell consultation, and answer any questions that you have. Also, be sure to visit BorgersRareCoins.com for further detailed information, as well as buying and selling directly online. In business for more than 50 years, Borgers knows the true value of not only precious metals, but their customers as well. A small, independently owned establishment that offers that family quality feel. You'll be absolutely thrilled with your experience. Don't delay. Contact Borgers today. Located in Hellertown, Pennsylvania, and proud sponsor of the What's Up Bro podcast show. We hope to see you there.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I don't have our little back intro in there. I got to get that in there. But if you're just tuning in, this is the What's Up Bro podcast show, brought to you, of course, by j&j Production Studios, your one true home for entertainment on the newly branded Airway Kingdom Network. And we have a special guest tonight, just to clue you in case you missed the beginning part. We have a special musical guest with us, Mr. Calebdoe. And I want to thank you because I let you had some nice sound effects there. We had your mic off so we could hear you during the song. So I'm like, that's really cool. He's adding his own beats to that. I like that.
Oh, you could hear me during the song being played?
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I was gonna be like, no, wait, they can, like, you know what? Let him do his own thing. It's a nice little ambiance to the, it's like you're kind of putting your stamp on it, which I like that. So, and it's the artist nature. I get it. So
I couldn't hear the song.
Oh, really? Oh, that's, what, people tell me that for some reason. I don't know why. It does play though, as far as I know, like when this is broadcasting. So like, and I hear it on my end. It must just be something on the opposite side. I'm not sure. That's really funny. But I'm like, it was actually perfect because it was kind of like going with the melody for it. So I'm like, we'll just let it go. People are used to it. We do all kinds of fun stuff here. So all good stuff. So we're back here. So for this last portion, we want to talk a little bit about the piece de resistance, if you will. So you have a new track that you have released here called You and Me, if I'm correct. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's an interesting story. I could read it, but I'd rather have you tell it. So tell us the origin and the backdrop of this and give us some details about this track. What is it about You and Me? Why is it special? How did you create this?
So the movie Love Jones is one of the biggest influences. I will say the biggest influence. I'm not big into, the romance movies or the drama movies, not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But it's based on, African American love. It's based out of Chicago, so the heritage, the flavor, the slang, the clothes.
Right.
Even though it was in 1997, I resonate with all of that. It's such a beautiful story, great acting, great directing. And
for sure.
I'm all for that. So one of my favorite movies. So after watching it for the 7th time, this is something that I want. I'm single. I got a lot going on. Too much to, sit and cater to that without it messing up the momentum or the flow of it. But that was the song is based on an ideal situation of what I see myself having in the future, or just kind of inspired by the movie. But it is something that I aspire to have, look forward to having, or felt that was a good song to write at the time. It it turned out really well, and it's resonating with the people. So I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's streaming and showing the love. It means a lot.
Yeah, it's really unique because, like I said, the first thing, and I will say, I fully expected, just because based on the bio, obviously your background with rap, the expectation usually is it's like straight rap, here. And again, I'm not a diehard lover of it, but there is some that I do like. Obviously, the context of it. But that's why I said the nice flow is it kind of has this jazz feel to it. And it really does. Like I'm sure that's probably kind of the idea. Like it sounds like a movie soundtrack moment. Like I could kind of see, like I'm picturing. I know it's not from the film, just and not to plagiarize, so don't anybody get upset. But like Titanic moment, like one of those moments where you're just like the backdrop, and this song is kind of setting the mood, I guess you could say, which I think is really neat because music obviously is a huge staple for films and TV. It just, let's be honest, that's just what sets the mood, right? I mean, it could be great great scripting, great acting lines, but the song is what captivates, right? What moves
and if it's not dialogue, it's the music.
Yep, it has to be. And usually a great film or a great show has both, so you don't usually see that. You get one or the other. But this track was just, I think it was awesome that way. And I'm listening to it, like the message there, and I like to, when I ever listen to a song, I try to like really put myself, in there. I'm letting the music come grip me, pull it out, and then really getting tied to it, putting myself, it's like watching a good film, putting myself in that story or something. I want to connect that way. It pulled me right in. So it was very well done there. And again, writing that, and what was it like actually obviously the writing process, takes a bit once you finally have it where you want it. But when you had it written and recorded and you had it out for the first time, you're hearing it like professionally, it's all done. Like, what did it mean to you to have that complete, like to completing a novel or completing your journal, something like that? What was that moment for you like?
Exactly. If I complete the novel, I'm going straight to the New York bestseller. That's my, if I feel like the song doesn't represent me or push my catalog, push my brand, push my mindset mentality forward, then I'm not making the song. And it was a vibe. Honestly, I've had the beat for a long time. Long time. Probably 3-4 years. But
wow.
I try not to about 2-3 years, but I try not to make a song because it's a good beat. If I can't make it make sense, or if I can't do what I want to do, I may pass on the beat, pass it to a friend, or sit on it for a while, pause, and then try and get back to it and make the best of what I can of it. So when I wrote this song, it was everything that I wanted it to be. The lyrics matched, the movie matched, everything matched. I just got to get it on a canvas and paint the right picture. And I was able to do that. That second verse was really, really good when it comes to visualization, and definitely emphasized that, and it turned out well. Really proud of that song.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And like I said, by the end of that tonight, when we wrap up here in just a bit, we'll obviously give people, I want to give a shout out to where everybody can find it and make sure everybody hears it, because we want, it has to be released to the world. The world has to know this. No.
Has to.
Just fun playing, but truthfully, yes. But you had, it's such a like powerful message you got going there. And I don't know, it's just, like I said, there's some song that just kind of grip you, like it hits you, they pluck the right string, as it were. And I obviously, like, I've been around, I've listened to all types, I've heard all kinds of songs, I've listened to, and again, I know I'm not well known for that one. I've been a musician, I played music, so I'm always on the creative side. I'm sort of critiquing that when I listen to certain things. I try not to be overly critical, because I know everybody's always proud of their stuff, and I think everybody should be. But you can tell sometimes some that good, some not, depending on the context and what they're trying to do, are doing, etc. But this was really just, and Canvas is great. I see it as this portrait, like it is just, it's very smooth. It's got velvety, like a good wine. It has the texture is there. It's not, it really does. Like, you could play this with not to get all romantic typey, but you could play it with the lights down. Like, this is like that song, like a romantic date night song, if you will. Like, and how many rap songs do you know of otherwise that can say that? I mean,
Not a
just
lot.
saying from that's what I mean. Like, it's not that it's bad; it's just not the genre for that, right? So
A lot.
this is one though that really hits home, I think, and I hope it would touch a lot of people because I think people can relate to it. Now, my question too is this is one thing I always like to ask artists for this because this is huge, and you're making an impact. You're trying to put your stamp on a lot of things. So it's kind of a two-parter. I'll put it to you that way. And again, you can answer it how you'd like. The first part of it is, for you as an artist, what impact do you hope to leave for maybe music, maybe inspiration for future generations, like we talked earlier, to inspire others? And in the same context, along that line, what do you hope to see for the future for music? It's kind of a two-parter there. I know it's a lot to throw at you, but I think you can handle it. I'm kidding.
And no, you're fine. And that second part is why I emphasize the music so much, because there's not an artist at this point in their career. I know there's great artists and great rappers and great musicians and great minds, but any of them aren't sending hip hop or sending rap to a better space than what it is now. I'm a big believer in leave something in a better condition than you left it before.
Yep.
To further and expand and make it better. That should be, those are big goals of mine in life. So that's the reason why I go so hard with the music. And that was the second part of the question. My bad.
That's okay. No, I said
struck
answer how you will. It's all good stuff. So
you struck a nerve. You struck a nerve with that second question. And
oh, good. Well, I like to get personal just to get your honest response is what we're looking for. I know you're going to give it. So.
And then what was that first part again?
So it's almost similar to the second part, but like as far as your personal stamp, which you want to leave as an artist for the music, and maybe inspire other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to leave the footprint of, if you're calm, if you have substance, if you care, if you have people around you that want to do what you do, set a good example, be yourself, do it for the kindness of your heart. Don't expect anything back. Don't do it for money.
Right.
You'll lose yourself. There's so many, and just songs in general. If you go through my songs, there's ways that you can read between the lines to show honesty, vulnerability, care, love, mannerisms, kindness.
Right.
When you need to be kind and when you don't need to be kind, and how to react when situations. There's nobody that's doing that right now.
Yep.
And that's where if Calebdoe gets to the spotlight and the word is out and people understand what I stand for, there's not a lot of things or a lot of people that can stop me where I want to go, where I want to take it.
Oh, and
that's the motivating part about the whole thing. I don't care about how famous and how much money, and I'm good on all that stuff. Life's good without that. I've got everything figured out. If the music, I don't say it because we speak it to fruition. When the music does what it does, that's the result we can hope to have. Now, if I go coach Michigan basketball or go coach the Bulls or the Lakers or the Pacers or something and do that, awesome, cool. But this is it's more personal. I hate to say it, I care a little more about it than coaching. I don't care about it more than the players, but the process of coaching, it's still super fun, but I don't know if it's going to be as fun as making a song, because there will never be a song with these words written by anybody else ever. But I've had assistants and I've been under coaches that I've taken what they've had and they've taken what I've had, and that's the way the coaching field goes. But I don't think there's been a more time for a needed artist, one, and an opportunity to leave such an impact. There's never been a greater time for that in rap than right now. And
Right.
it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. I'm giving myself to,
Yeah.
like you said, your arms are wide. I got arrows all over me. The down of this, the up of that.
Yep.
It is, that is what that is. So that's the lasting impression I want to leave, and the mindset that I want to put people in when they think of hip hop music. And I got the power to do that.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly said. I mean, I think again, and one of the things that we do here and all this stuff that we're working on, it's all about positivity, a positive direction, trying to uplift people, trying to be
Exactly.
that, that bright side. Because there's so much darkness out there. We know this. We've talked a little bit about it. We know it's there. Even if we try to be oblivious, it still kind of smacks us in the face. It's there.
It's us every time.
Yep. So same thing like for us, like we do our shows that we're doing, we have a whole bunch of different demographics that we do, but it's the same goal. We're trying to be that voice to help inspire and encourage people and try to leave something for future generations, whether they admit to it now or realize it now, but maybe down the road. It's the same kind of thing, same kind of deal. But I think it's tremendous, and I'm glad we have a chance here really to showcase this for you. Obviously, we hope we can work something, have you come back at some point. We'd love to get updates for you. We can absolutely share more. We will definitely make sure we share everything we have to get people, knowing you and hopefully maybe introducing you to a new audience, maybe growing things there. You never know. Always opportunity there, but do you want to have a chance? So like now, just for our listeners and watchers that are viewing this, where can they find not only this track, but all your other stuff? How maybe they can connect with you or follow you? Where all can we catch up with Calebdoe?
You can catch Calebdoe on all streaming platforms, CalebDoee. That's Calebdoe on Instagram. Pardon me. That's Dosif on TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat. Yes, I still use Snapchat from time to time.
Yep.
People don't. I grew up in the perfect window for Snapchat. I'm starting to get memories. They have like 9 years ago today. I'm starting to get those. Yeah, and that's when I graduated. That's when I graduated high school and went to college and got my first full-time job, big boy job, and did this with my friends. Like that stuff's awesome. I will never forget that stuff. So memorable memories, and I'm sure this is idiotic, dumb stuff that people want to see
for sure.
So Dosif on TikTok, Snap, Twitter, Calebdoe on Instagram, all streaming platforms. He's there.
There you go. And can we download? Like, is the song available for download, like on SoundCloud or Amazon Music or Apple Music?
Amazon. I don't know. I don't use Amazon Music like that. I use Apple Music and Spotify.
Okay, so we know it's definitely there. Okay, could be though. You never know. I guess it depends on the streaming rights, or if you have
exactly. But everything's available to download on everything's available to download on SoundCloud, and then there's one more platform where I can put all mixtapes for people to boom and go. But besides that, man, I'm not hard to find. Not hard to find. You might catch me on Instagram Live. I don't do TikTok Live. I don't know how to use TikTok, honestly, so I barely use that. But
I know how you feel, yeah.
But the people are pushing me to use that, so we'll start getting on that.
I've heard the same thing. I feel like I'm not a big TikToker either, but people like you gotta do the reels, man. You gotta have the snippets. That's what people like that more than the big stuff. Okay, all right.
Because it's the attention span, number one, and it's the attention span, and then it's the next form of social media. I told people after the Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Vine, Kick wave, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And who knows what's next? I mean, I know what's the newer one. Blue Sky was relatively new at the time. Remember when they launched that? Like, you don't know what's going to come down the pike. I mean, this is everything changes. Sorry?
Blue what?
Blue Sky. I don't know if you've not heard of it?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's actually, well, it's good. Funny you mentioned that. I can share it. It's a funny story. So we actually just joined that. It's been out for almost 2 years, I want to say now. And
Does it
basically
have
what
a lot of client on it?
it's growing. You know, this is what's funny. So obviously you're aware that Twitter is no longer Twitter. It's now X because it was purchased by Elon Musk. Oh, you didn't know that?
I knew, but I don't know X. I know Twitter.
So, Elon Musk bought obviously Twitter, converted it to
Right.
X. It's now X, all that stuff. I forget the guy's name. The original creator of Twitter. I think it was two people. I think there was partners for that. I don't know if it was not a hostile takeover, but they lost they obviously were bought out, and X is now. So they rebranded. They call it Blue Sky. So it's from the creators of Twitter, the original owners of that platform. And as I understand it, which I can actually tell you because I'm looking at our socials here. I just pulled it up because I do post on there.
You guys are on Blue Sky?
We are, yeah, yep. So it's still now. I don't know how much it's grown. I mean, we have smaller following. Yeah, it's our handle there is at j&jproductionstudios.bsky.social. That's like the tagline for the whatever.
Yeah.
But it basically, and the reason why I say it's a funny story is when the creators of Twitter sold the platform to Elon Musk, I guess there was a misunderstanding of, obviously he wanted to change it, adapt it, like converted everything and, etc. And so the creators there for Twitter that had said, you know what, let's restart, let's redo it because we want to have that. We think it was good. So, and obviously they can't use the Twitter brand, is just gone. And I think technically, even though they changed it, I think the rights to it belong to now Musk and his corporation. So for like licensing LLC agreement thing, they can't do that. But so they reinvented, and instead of a Tweety bird, it's a butterfly. So the butterfly is the logo for Blue Sky. That's what, but the color scheme is very similar to the Twitter, the bird.
The blue bird, yeah, instead of a black X.
Yep. So now it's a blue butterfly. So yep. I was surprised at first, but then when I read the story, I'm like, okay, so it's basically your constant social media warfare where it's like we sold you the platform expecting you to carry it on. You changed it. It wasn't our like the music wasn't our original vision. So now we got to go back and we got to restart. So, and again, it's basically just Twitter rebranded, if you want to call it basically. I believe it functions. Again, I haven't played much with it. Some of it, like I'm kind of just browsing, looking. It's like it's basically all essentially Twitter without the they're dancing the guidelines of it's not Twitter, so we don't violate the it's not copyright whatever blah blah. But it's fairly new, but it seems to have grown. So we only jumped on because I always said we're trying to, obviously when you brand, you want to be everywhere possible people can see you. So, but it's just interesting. But like I said, we don't know. Like that's just one aspect of it. There could be, who knows what else is going to get created. I think there's another platform out someone told me about, and I forget what it's called though. Like I'm like, gone are the days of, and again, you're not much younger than me, but you remember the MySpace days. So
my favorite.
I never had it, honestly. I was gonna get it, but right when I was gonna get it is when it went defunct. So, I had AOL at the time, which obviously is not as good as it was.
I had the AIM Messenger as well.
Yep. That, ladies and gentlemen, and the kiddos, if you're young kids out there, that is how we old folks did it back in the day when we had to text our friends. We didn't have like our smartphones and social media. That was our social media.
You had a username and a cent.
They would give you like the ding, like if you had your friends list, if they were online, it tells you they're online. Otherwise, like I'd be like, I'm online gaming, or maybe I'm doing homework, and I'm like, I hear a ding. Oh, my friend's on. Let me pull up AOL. Hey, buddy, let's chat. Let's play Madden after. Or let's whatever. So, that was just the thing in the day, So we've come a long way. But yeah, if you have a chance, check it out. Maybe get yourself on there. It's another avenue. You never know. People are.
Yeah, my first Blue Sky is gonna be Sam Crow sent me, guys. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but
oh great! Now if it goes wrong, I guess all the hate's gonna come. All your fans are gonna come at me. No.
Yep.
Listen, I'm a giver. I'm a giver. So if it helps you boost yourself, I'm all for it. I can take it. You're welcome. No, okay. But yeah, no, we can definitely. If you find us on there, you can connect. We're on. Actually, our link tree is there. So you can always go back and watch us if you want to check us out. All of our stuff, all of our socials, including the Blue Sky, is linked. So if you follow that, or actually I'll change the QR code just for the little bit here at the end so that if anybody wants to click that photo there, take you right to our link tree, all of our socials, of course, the YouTube channel and everything. So if you want to connect with us there, you can. But yeah, so this has really been enlightening there. Caleb, we're glad you could join us again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
A pleasure. We look forward. We'd love to have you come back. It's been great. Obviously, like I said, we can see the conversations don't always. I love going off script because I think it's natural. So it's more engaging and more fun. And we do talk about you and your music, which we did, but other crucial topics that these young kids need to hear about. Obviously, we got to set the generation. We got to be the hope that we leave behind. That we set these kids right for the future. So.
I'll tell you what, if it's not us, I think it's over.
Yeah. Sad but true. Honestly, I still tell people I'm getting older, but we still have a voice to be heard. And we're not that old yet that can't be heard anymore. So, if we don't do it, and I will say the nice thing is like for you, coaching and being around with the youth and stuff, you get that opportunity to be with them regularly. So like it's literally within your realm of, you see this constantly, so you are actually helping to shape them. Maybe they don't see it yet too sometimes, but you actually are in the thick of it. And maybe one day you'll get to see when they grow up and like, I had a part, maybe I didn't do all of it, but you played a part in how they turned out. I know I was always thankful for my coaches when I played back in the day. I didn't realize it when you're younger, you don't. But
man, I got my favorite player, he's a rock star. He sells the tickets. We teach the defense, so the defense is played regardless, but he sells the tickets, comes from a great family. And that was my oldest team, my second oldest team. I had a 2024 team. But getting open house invites and graduation party invites and all this stuff, man. Like, and the parents still reach out to me asking me if I'm good and doing all this stuff, man. That stuff's awesome. That makes you second guess the music, but it's like after you graduate high school, I have no use for you. And I probably have had, I think I've had 4 or 5 scholarship players.
Wow.
4 or 5 scholarship players, but you go as far as you want. I don't have as much influence. I don't have influence, but professional leagues are a true 1%, 2%. So I'll support you. I'll root for you, but it's like, man, you do play a part in this stuff, and that's not something that I take for granted.
No, we shouldn't. I don't either. I've same thing. I've been fortunate. I have volunteered in the past. I loved working with kids when I had that. And it's not because I always say I'm the best role model per se, but I just know, like, I've learned, and it's probably the same thing. We all know from our experiences, because like I tell these kids, I was 10, 12, I was 16. I've been there. I've done that,
Yeah, I haven't always been 20, 29, guys. I was
that's what they say.
Your age.
They look at you going like, you were born like, I wasn't born this age. Wasn't born with a beard. I was a baby at one time. Like,
no,
you understand.
I was about 6. I was 6 inches 10 centimeters at a point in time. I wasn't 5'9" always, bro. Come on.
But it's nice though. Like when you see that, and like I'm always. And same thing, you take them as far as they can go, but at some point, you have to let them grow, and they have to figure it out on their own. We all did. We bridged that gap, and doesn't mean you can't care or maybe be involved or reach out, but it's like, at some point the training wheels have to come off, the floaties have to come off. And it's a rite of passage. We've all been there. Everybody at one point in time in life. Everybody maybe at different points, but every single person has had that moment where this is your time of transitioning from teenhood to adulthood. It's scary. I mean, listen, we've been there. You don't know at first, and especially when you leave the high school ranks there, you're not sure what's next. I knew it myself. I had a lot of friends. We were all going in different directions. Like, where do we go? What are we doing? What's going to happen next? That's part of the scary part of the journey, but you will find it. And my tidbit, which I'm sure you probably would agree to, is lean on those people that look to those. You might not recognize it before, but those lessons like you teach the kids there at that time, they'll come back. They'll remember a lot of that stuff at critical moments. I still think about lessons I learned from teachers and coaches and people I've interacted with just at certain points in life. Those lessons just kind of pop right at the right moment. So, you're thankful for that, but it really is. It's a true blessing there. And, you really have a wonderful opportunity. You're doing the thing you love, but you also get to have a chance to be involved in others' lives. And, such a wonderful thing. But yeah, man, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure having you here. It's a great conversation. Again, we look forward to having you come again.
Anytime.
I appreciate that. Again, you get on social, look us up, find us. We can connect there if you'd like. We'll definitely look you up, follow you there, and try to support there as well. And again, you guys at home, check out Calebdoe. Find him anywhere there. Check the song out. You and me, go download it. Anywhere you can find it. I mean, again, these kids know how to work these things. You guys are, especially if you're a younger audience member, you know more.
They'll find you.
So go find it. Yeah,
they'll find it. They'll find it.
I mean, like we're the old folks. We have to do all the looking up stuff. Some of these kids are telling me, I don't know where to find this. Oh, it's right there. Oh, don't I feel dumb? Because it's like right in front of me, but I still don't understand this stuff. So I'm like, I'm digital to a point, but I'm like, I don't know how to work. Like you go to some jobs now, use these apps. Like I don't know how to do this stuff. Like I'm old. I'm paper and pencil. We learned on notebook. Like I use the computer some, but not like for everything. So. I learned I learned how to online shop or grocery shop or online banking was new stuff. Like I didn't know how to do any of that stuff from the beginning. So
exactly. I went to a technology high school, so we had laptops.
Yep.
So that's
I kind of had to, but doesn't mean you were an expert at everything. You probably can't take it apart and put it back together. I knew a lot of people that could do that actually. And it's like, don't you know how to no, if I take the computer apart, I can guarantee you it's not going back together the same way it started.
It's not working.
No. So like if you want me to destroy it, sure. But I'd prefer to have it work just for obvious reasons. So
I may need it,
You may need it. You never know. It's these life lessons. But again, Caleb, thanks so much for being here. Again, you guys show him some support. Again, we would love to. We'll keep in touch. We'll obviously either through the company there or you directly. But again, have a wonderful rest of your week. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Hopefully your guest is here next time I join you guys. But I had a blast, man. Great conversation. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it. And of course, always too, as we say goodnight here, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening, whether you watch live or catch the rebroadcast. It's there for your entertainment. We hope you enjoy this and many more of these interviews coming up soon as well. So make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us everywhere. Get the latest up-to-date information so you don't miss a new episode when it's dropped, because you don't want to miss it. They are fantastic, and we cannot wait for more. We're excited. We know you're excited. So we thank you for being here. Good night, as we say, and goodbye for now. And as always, until next time, we hope and we really appreciate to see each and every one of you at the show. Cheers. Good night, everybody. God bless. See you again very, very soon.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.